Hello everyone. So today I will discuss about jet stream. Okay, so hope you have studied at your home the previously discussed topics. So I in previous class I told you about cyclones, anticyclones, right? And temperate cyclones also. So today I will finish this chapter and I will discuss jet streams. So, jet streams are very fast moving air currents flowing in narrow path in the Earth's atmosphere. So, jet streams are several uh, hundreds of miles long and less than 1 mile thick. Okay, so jet streams form in region between the troposphere and the stratosphere, which is called the tropopause, means the uh, higher part of the troposphere. Okay, so the upper limit of troposphere, so which is situated between 10 to 14 kilometer above the surface of the earth. Okay, so now what causes jet streams? Because of warming at the equator produces a low pressure system. So while at the poles excessive cooling produces a high pressure system. So cold surface polar air travels towards the equator. We know that from the polar regions it move to the uh, equatorial region, because in equatorial regions warm air can easily move upwards, and to fill up the blank spaces the cold winds are coming at that areas. Okay, so while warm air at the equator flows towards the poles, the cold surface polar air travels towards the equator driven by a horizontal pressure gradient, while warm air at the equator flows towards the poles. So the warm air at the equator rises to the tropopause, where it is forced to move toward the poles. Okay, and the Coriolis effect also acts on the winds flowing toward the poles and deflating them towards the right, creating westerly winds high in the atmosphere in both hemispheres. So these westerly winds produce jet streams at 30-degree and 60-degree latitude when these winds reach maximum speed. Hope you have got some idea about the jet stream, and now I will tell you the types of jet stream. How many types of jet streams are there? There are two types of jet streams, so you should follow this image. Here you can see that the red line is subtropical jet stream and the blue line is polar jet stream. Okay, so by listening this name you can understand the location of these two types of jet streams, right? The polar jet streams flow closer to the poles, that's why this is known as polar jet streams. So it pull cold air toward equator and warm air up toward poles, and strong storms form along its loop. So it have strong influence on North America's weather. Okay, and another one is subtropical jet streams, means it flows closer. It flow closer to equator, means it covers actually the subtropical region. Okay, so the two types of jet streams that move at the tropical belt of 30-degree north latitude are divided by two streams, like westerly jet streams and easterly jet streams. Okay, in India we can observe these two types of jet streams. This is called tropical easterly jet and is a temporary jet stream which occurs in summer. Okay, and it actually you can observe this type of jet stream in the peninsular region of India, means the southern part of our country. Okay, and it affects the Indian monsoon obviously, and as the stronger it pushes the winds towards the Indian subcontinent and monsoon strengthens. And another permanent stream which affects Indian monsoon is subtropical westerly jet. Okay, so it prevails over northern part of India in winter, and it is responsible for creating high pressure over there. So in North India, you know that Punjab, Haryana, some parts of Uttar Pradesh experience winter rainfall due to the westerly jet. So these two, now you can understand how important it is. These streams are how important these two jet streams for Indian monsoon. So that's all for today's class. Thank you.